This is Beth with Divine Me Time, and I'm here to support your commitment to healing and knowing your true self. So I thought I would offer in the coming year, as 2026 being a year of commitment to healing and remembering who we are, that we are divine. And for some of you, that might feel like a really big stretch. And perhaps for others, you are already aware that you are divine. So what I was planning on offering in the new year is something aligned with my alignments. So every month I offer up a spiritual alignment, and these are posted on my website. The one for November is the necessity of the divine hidden hunger of our times, which I'm going to share with you today. And then starting in January, I'll probably do one for December as well, but starting in January, I'm hoping to offer these sessions once a month on the third Sunday, and the time will likely be around 7 or 8 Central European time, which Eastern time is around 3 or 4, something like that. So yeah, if you're interested, you can come visit my website, Divine Me Time. And if you are interested, you can scroll down to the bottom and there's a place where you can subscribe and be kept informed and receive emails about these alignments before they happen. And then also you can receive replay information in case you weren't able to attend in person. So also just want to mention before we begin that this is experimental for me today. This is the first time I'm using OBS and streaming with it on YouTube. So we'll see how this goes. It might be a little clunky, who knows. Also, I'm not sure about the format, and so I'm kind of just winging it here in terms of, you know, what you're looking at and how to share. So I'm actually just going to go to alignments now and open up November's alignment, hopefully. It is scrolling. There we go. Okay, so let me explain what this is all about. We live in an age of extraordinary technology, convenience, and lots of knowledge. Yet beneath the surface, many people, I would say most people, are struggling with things like loneliness, anxiety, disconnection, and a quiet sense of meaninglessness. Why is this happening? Because there's something our humanity cannot live without, and that's the acknowledgement of the divine that underlies all of life. Without reverence, we lose our way. And when this acknowledgement is missing, then we see the symptoms all around us, as I'm sure you do. Kind of moral bankruptcy that allows exploitation and corruption and ignorant self-serving to flourish. Meaninglessness and a sense of despair, or as I mentioned earlier, anxiety. And a disconnect from our true nature and from each other. Every wisdom tradition points to the same truth. Life is not random, empty, or mechanical. And yet, we're living in a very materialistic and mechanical kind of culture. But in reality, life is presence, it's intelligence, it's beauty. And when we forget this, we forget ourselves. And that's why we end up feeling cut off from ourselves and from that sacred thread. We drift into moral confusion, endless consumption, trying to fill the void, and feelings of despair. Without acknowledgement of the divine, without recognizing the sacred, our choices easily become self-serving because we just don't understand that there's anything else but this little egoic self that wants to be fulfilled. We lose sight of our shared humanity, and the world around us begins to look like an object to be exploited rather than a sacred home to be cared for. So the greatest crisis of our time is not political, economic, or even environmental. This is my feeling. It's actually a spiritual crisis, not a religious one, a spiritual one. And this void of reverence and understanding of the sacred is at the heart of the dysfunction in all other areas, the political, the economic, the environmental. It's the desecration of what is true, what is beautiful, and what is uplifting. It's the neglect of the very qualities that nourish the soul. We can't thrive as human beings without this reverence, and we cannot feel whole while living in denial of the sacred nature of life. And so, I'm glad I started these alignments, this podcast, with this particular entry, because alignments are about this very thing, coming back into connection with our true nature, with the sacredness of all of life. Reminding ourselves of what is true, beautiful, and uplifting in a world where things have gotten quite ugly and adulterated and confusing. So healing comes through acknowledgement. Acknowledging the divine doesn't require dogma, religious affiliation, or blind belief. It's as simple as pausing in awe before something beautiful and actually seeing it. How many of us have our noses in our phones all day, or, we hardly look up? It is as humble as whispering thank you to the mystery that breathes us in this very moment, and as sincere as choosing beauty, kindness, and integrity in a world that so often forgets them. That acknowledgement is what reweaves meaning into our lives. It starts to connect us with one another. It grounds morality, not in fear of punishment, the things that drive us to supposedly do the right thing, but instead our morality arises out of love and reverence for life itself. Part of me wanting to offer these live alignment sessions is that there is an incredible power in sharing a collective intent. We can work together, whether we do it live or people watch after, it doesn't really matter. We are all practicing and holding the same intent as we work through these various alignments every month. And then, you know, healing is something that we really have to take responsibility for ourselves. So often we want to look to a guru who has all the answers, or we want a doctor to give us a pill and treat us instead of make the changes that are necessary. And I think the window for that kind of approach working is closing, and that we are entering a time where we really need to find our agency in healing ourselves. So every alignment on the blog has a practice, and generally also has prompts for just considering and reflecting upon the alignment. And again, we have to do the practice. We have to make time. We have to carve out the space in our lives to do this. It doesn't have to be a lot of time. I expect these sessions to be half an hour to maybe 45 minutes, so that's not very long. I know not everyone has, an abundance of time, but again, it comes down to the choice. It's a commitment to your healing and to remembering who you are. I want to re-emphasize that. So let's do a little practice together now, and I'll just lead us through it. You're welcome to either just sit upright with your feet on the ground, your back straight, or if it's more comfortable, lie back and relax. And if it's comfortable, close your eyes. Let's just begin with a few cleansing breaths. So breathing in through the nose, taking your time, and as you exhale, blowing out through your mouth, letting any tension in your body go. And then just repeating that a few times for yourself. Feeling yourself rooting into your chair or whatever surface you're on. If your feet are on the ground, feeling the full surface of your feet connected, rooted. And now simply become aware of your body, the shape it's taking in space, and how it feels in this moment. If it's comfortable, you might want to draw a hand to the heart, or perhaps just lightly place a few fingertips at the sternum and connect into that space of the heart. Feel this mystery, your very own heartbeat. Yes, science has anatomical reasons for the heart beating, and yet we can always ask why. And another layer of mystery and another layer of mystery presents itself. Science has yet to understand the mystery of life. Relax. Rest into the silence. Rest into the truth of who you are. Now begin to cultivate a sense of gratitude. Perhaps for your heart, your health, or any aspect of your life. The people in it, the objects. Allow that sense of gratitude to expand. And as maybe you either look upon or visualize or just think about whatever it is you're grateful for, recognize it as sacred, as divine. Notice how that small act shifts your sense of connection and meaning. You might notice a smile creeping onto your face, or a sense of lightness, or love. Allow those feelings to grow. So this is a very simple practice that we can return to again and again and again when we have a minute, 5 minutes, an hour, whatever you want to dedicate to this practice of remembering the reverence, of feeling that reverence for life, for yourself, for all the gifts in your life. And if you want to go a little deeper, you can work with the prompts. Where in my life am I overlooking the sacred? And what simple act of reverence could I bring into my day? You know, we think sometimes that things have to be complicated and grand, but it can be as simple as simply opening your door in the morning and taking a deep breath in with appreciation for the day. So just in closing, our world doesn't just need more innovation, more strategies, or more progress. Those things are all fine. But the world needs reverence. It needs the courage to acknowledge the divine, the divinity we've lost, and to let that acknowledgement shape how we live. When we return to reverence, we return to ourselves and to the possibility of a world infused once more with truth, beauty, and light. So, if you're still meditating with your eyes closed, you might want to begin to move fingers and toes. Welcome a deep breath and stretch in any way you wish. Let me know if you enjoyed this alignment in the comments. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you receive information about December's alignment. You can, as I already mentioned, visit the website divinemetime.com. You can subscribe there to get notices of alignments. And let's just end our session today. Going back to the photograph here, the image of the Namaste, the hands pressed together in Anjali Mudra at the heart. Feel the energy of that picture. This is Beth. Thank you for being here. The light in me recognizes the light in you. Have a beautiful day or night.